Maraming salamat sa ating lahat. Kumusta kayo po? And I wish all of you, sana lang po okay na okay ang buhay natin. Today is, ano na ngayon po, December 2nd, no? Tuesday na. And welcome kayo sa programa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Ito po si Nico Fabian. And of course, I would like to say salamat pagi, salamat patang, and salamat malam. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to each and every one of you. Kung nasaan man kayo, mga kababayan ko po dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito sa Sabah. And of course, ang mga overseas Filipino workers natin po sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo, sa iba-ibang nasyon. And of course, ang mga kababayan, kapatid, kaibigan natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. Ito na. Go straight na tayo po sa mga balita na mayroon tayo. Itong Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Would like to pass sa mga followers ko dito po sa Malaysia. And kung nasan man kayo. No? Kung nasan man kayo. Okay, this time around we are going to talk about, mayroon na naman itong issue na ang Makabayan Bloc is now again preparing for the impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte po. The moment mag-lift na ang ban ng impeachment complaint kay Inday Sara Duterte by February, early February, no? I think first week of February, mag-lift na yan po. So may mga plano na po. Some people are preparing itong impeachment complaints against VP Sara. And of course, we will be touching also ang issue tungkol nasaan na ba si Senator Bato, no? And of course, ang issue ni Congressman Kiko Barzaga from Cavite, wherein yesterday na-decide na ang ethic committee dyan po sa House of Representatives. They decided and they unanimously agreed that si Congressman Miao or Kiko Barzaga will be suspended. I will be talking much about this thing later on sa programa natin. And in the meantime, sa mga kaibigan natin, especially mga Filipinos dito po sa Sabah, I just want to inform each and every one of you, as well as ang mga friends natin, mga Sabahans, mga Malaysian Sabahans po. In the event you still don't know, I just want to inform you na mayroon na tayong bagong gobyerno, spearheaded by second termer na ito, si Chief Minister Dato Sri Haji Noor. And kahapon, nag-announce na po kung sino-sino talaga ang cabinet members ni Chief Minister Haji Noor. No? Announce na po, and I'm going to give you the names ng bagong cabinet ministers ng Sabah. No? Ng Sabah. Okay, to start with, ito na po, the new Sabah cabinet lineup. Of course, ang Chief Minister is no other than second termer na ito, si Dato Sri Haji Noor as Chief Minister. Ang Deputy Chief Minister 1 niya po is Dato Dr. Joaquim Gunsalam, and who will also spearhead ang Works and Utilities Ministry. And the second Deputy Chief Minister is no other than Dato Masidi Manjun, who will return his post as Finance Minister ng Sabah. Excuse me, because earlier, before the election, ang Finance Minister natin po ay si Dato Masidi Manjun. So ngayon, upgraded siya po pagka-minister, not only as a Finance Minister, but now he is already a Deputy Chief Minister too. Now, ang third Deputy Chief Minister is no other than Dato Ewon Benedict, and who will also assume as Minister or Minister of Industry and Entrepreneurship and Transportation. So, yun po. Chief Minister, tatlong Deputy Chief Minister. Again, ang tatlong Deputy Chief Minister is excuse me, Dato Masidi Manjun, Dato Dr. Joaquim Gunsalam, Dato Masidi Manjun, and Datu Erwin Benedict. Yon po ang tatlong chief minister. Okay, para sa local government minister natin dito po sa Sabah for 5 years, ito po, appointed as the local government and housing minister is Datu Dr. Muhammad Arifin Muhammad Arif. Again, local government and housing, Datu Dr. Muhammad Arifin Muhammad Arif. Agriculture, ang agriculture minister natin po, agriculture, fisheries, and food industry, is ang kaibigan natin si Datu Jamawi Jafar. Datu Jamawi Jafar, PH ito, no? Nanalo sa Tenom. Kamabong natin, or, Kamabong. And ang rural development minister natin ay also coming from Tenom, si Datu Ruben Balang. Rural development, Datu Ruben Balang. Ang Education, Science, and Technology and Innovation Minister is Datu James Ratib. Datu James Ratib. Ang Tourism, Culture, and Environment Minister natin for Sabah is Datu Jeffrey Arifin. At ang Women, Health, and Community Well-Being Minister natin is Datu Jolita Mojongki. And lastly, ang Youth Development, Sports, and Advancement, and Creative Economy Minister si Datu Nizam Titingan. So yun po ang bagong appointed state cabinet ministers ng Sabah. So they will be serving for 5 years term. So congratulations to all our appointed or elected cabinet ministers po, and we are looking forward for a very, very, sabihin natin, fruitful term sa kanilang lahat po. And of course, the Sabahans will give the fullest support sa mga ministers, cabinet ministers, and of course, deputy ministers, as well as ang chief minister natin po, si Chief Minister Datu Sri Haji Noor. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to all of you. Alright, so let's go to the other issues na ngayon po. And this time around, let's talk about itong issue tungkol kay Inday Sara Duterte, no? Kay Inday Sara Duterte. Alam niyo po na malaking issue ito po si Inday Sara Duterte, and we were made to understand, no? We were made to understand that may mga grupo na ngayon po, especially ang Makabayan Bloc, no? Ang Makabayan Bloc is again preparing to file another impeachment complaint against Inday or Vice President Inday Sara Duterte po immediately. Immediately after or once the expiration of the 1-year bond will expire sa 2026, and that will come most likely by February, early February. So that is, or this is the latest news that we managed to get. And let's see po. Sandali po. We'll see if we can get saan na yun? Saan na yun po? Hold on, VP Sara impeachment. I will try to give you ang news sa itong impeachment preparation against Inday Sara Duterte. Sandali po. Okay, hold on impeachment. Medyo nahirapan tayo ngayon dito, Okay. Versus VP Sara. Alright. Tingnan natin if we can get it here. Alright. Okay, sandali po. Ang Makabayan Block ito po, no? And we were made to understand that they are now preparing. They are preparing to file another impeachment complaint against VP Sara. Hindi yan expected. After all, it is already expected. Definitely there will be an impeachment complaint again po. Because last year, the Supreme Court decided that it is unconstitutional kasi they violated, ang Congress violated itong one-year bond policy. Ibig sabihin, mayroon lang isang impeachment na complaint in 1 year po. If hindi yun prosper, ibig sabihin, they have to wait for another year, the next year, then only they will complain. And we were made to understand by this Makabayan Block, no? Makabayan Block, that they will stick to the previous reasons for the impeachment, and baka they include other reasons po kasi mayroon namang sila, according to them, that may mga other people who wants to complain on other issues against Inday Sara Duterte, ang Vice President natin. So obviously, since itong sabihin natin na impeachment complaint na last year, obviously they want, itong grupo na ito, Makabayan Block, they want that si Sara Duterte will be impeached and will be disqualified to contest in the 2028 presidential election po. And obviously din po, sabi ni Inday Sara Duterte na one of the reasons why itong grupo na ito, they want her to be out or they don't want to see her. Even in the event there will be a succession. In the event sabi natin na BBM will step down ngayon, but they don't want the VP Sara to be the next president through the succession policy po ng gobyerno, because they know that once VP Sara will be, sabihin natin the president, be it the ngayon po or during after the 2028 presidential election po, they know that VP Sara is one leader who won't give any face and opportunities for the Makabayan Block to took the helm of the government. Ayaw yun po si Inday Sara Duterte. So, the only thing that they can do is they have to make sure that Inday Sara Duterte will not be the president now. In the event there will be, in the event ng ito po, in the event there will be a vacancy sa posisyon ng presidente, or else sa 2028 election, they don't want to see VP Inday Sara Duterte to be a presidential candidate, which is most likely she will make it as the next president of the Philippines. Kaya nga, they are doing everything. They are doing everything to, sabihin natin, discredit, put down, stop VP Inday Sara Duterte from going up. And if possible, eradicate, erase the names of the Duterte in the political arena dyan po, dyan po sa Pilipinas, which is very impossible. Nakikita natin ngayon po how ang majority of the Filipinos, be it sa Pilipinas or be it outside mga overseas Filipino workers, you can see that the Filipinos are still solidly backing, supporting, backing, trust ang leadership ni Inday Sara Duterte. Okay, yun po. Yun, mas klaro, mas disente. si Edita Ofelia Valdez, si John Lloyds P. Lolo. I would like to say also good afternoon to you. Salamat patang and thank you for watching ang programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. So ito mga issues po that I would like to pass sa mga followers ko dito po sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Alright, I prepared some video clips po, ang mga reactions ng mga congressmen natin po, especially those supporting si Congressman Kiko Meow Meow Barzaga po, when the Ethics Committee dyan po sa House of Representatives yesterday voted for the suspension of Congressman Kiko Barzaga dahil po sa mga social media niya po, mga posting. Unbecoming daw yan po, sabi ang Ethics Committee, it is unbecoming of a congressman. But others, they look at Congressman Kiko Barzaga as a young leader, as a young congressman po, who is very brave enough, even to go against our president, si President Ferdinand Marcos, and he is one leader who really hates and fight itong corruption po sa Pilipinas, which ngayon po is a very big issue. Dahil po sa corruption sa Pilipinas, itong flood control projects, flood control projects, anomalous deals, the 2025 national budget, as well as the 2026 national budget, which is still ongoing hearing po. Mayroon na po mga items question mark. So, Congressman Kiko Barzaga is one fellow, is one leader, is one congressman who is very vocal. And he's willing to lose his position as a congressman po. Basta lang, sabi niya, I fought for the Filipinos. I fought for the country. Anita Mendoza is also watching. Thank you very much. And yun po. So I have some video clips po during the votation yesterday dyan po sa Kongreso sa Pilipinas. Ang resulta ng votation po, because they must have two-third majority votes. Mayroon sila those who favored ang decision po, a total of 249 congressmen favored for the decision to suspend si Congressman Kiko Barzaga. And mayroon, I think, 5 congressmen who supported and answered no to itong decision ng Ethics Committee. And 11, if I'm not mistaken, 11 yun po ang abstain. They abstain their votes. So, meron tayo dito konting mga sabihin natin video clip. So, at least you will be able to hear ang mga reasons. Those who went or say no to this decision ng Ethics Committee ng House of Representatives. So, in the meantime, I want to share with you po ang reaction. Reaction ni Congressman Kiko Barzaga. You know, yesterday while I was watching ang session nila sa Kongreso, nakita ko po, he stood up and say that he is accepting ang decision ng Ethics Committee ng House of Representatives. And sabi ni Congressman Kiko Barzaga that he will continue his fight against corruption, against people involved dyan po sa corruption po sa Pilipinas. He will continue to protect the interest and welfare of every Filipino as a responsible elected congressmen, not only dyan po sa Cavite, but also lahat ang mga Filipinos po. He's talking about lahat ang mga Filipinos, be it in the Philippines, be it outside the Philippines. So nandito po interview ni Congressman Kiko Barzaga. Let's watch and listen to this po. Let's watch and listen to this.
There's plenty of lewd content. Pero ibang congressman nga nahuling may kapit pero hindi sila na ethics complaint eh. It's about the timing of the complaint and why they would choose to do that, since if they were to create precedents where such things were to be regulated and when the ethics committee is capable of suspending reprimanding or even expelling politicians once they have a supermajority in Congress, then these types of things can be weaponized by future administrations, and that's the worst part about the ethics complaint. Because personally speaking, the suspension does not truly negatively affect me. It mostly negatively affects the institution as a whole because people are losing trust in Congress, and this will decrease the trust in Congress even more.
You mean people might think they're being so defensive?
Well, they are being so defensive because I'm the one who is planning to file an impeachment case on Marcos, and coincidentally, I'm also the one who happens to be
Oh, we
suspended.
just had you last week. You didn't
yes.
say that yet. When did this idea?
No, I revealed it already. I posted it twice on social media.
Okay.
Once in October and once in November. So we're still gathering evidence, not just regarding Marcos's involvement in the flood control, but also Senator Amy Marcos's revelation that he is a drug addict, which is detrimental to our country as a whole if we have a drug addict as
So
a president.
this impeachment complaint you plan to file, when do you plan to file it? And can you file? You can file it naman kahit na suspended ka, no?
Oh, I'm not too sure about that because I didn't read the rules regarding suspended politicians.
But when are you planning to file it? Who is drafting it for you? You have lawyers?
Yes, we have legal teams, and we'll see when the time comes.
Kasi February 7 yung the one-year ban on the impeachment of Senator Duterte will
Yes.
expire. Are you hoping to do that, your filing, before February 7, or are you hoping to have it after February? Kasi things would change, of course, after February 7.
Things would definitely change, and more evidence would release, more people will release statements against Marcos by that time. So yes, once more evidence has been released against Marcos, and once public opinion against Marcos has gradually worsened, then that's when we can start fighting.
Are you confident you're going to gather enough signatures for that?
Well, even if I don't gather enough signatures, that will already prove that Congress itself, a majority of Congress, is no longer serving the people, but rather serving the interests of the Marcos administration. And we've already seen that happen in this instance. This is showing the people what exactly is happening within Congress.
But tell us about the charges that you plan to file exactly. What will be your basis for impeachment?
For impeachment, for the revelation of the drug cases and the involvement of flood control anomalies, and an extra charge that's not revealed yet.
But the Constitution is very particular about what kinds of charges can be filed for impeachment.
Yes.
For example, betrayal
Betrayal
of
of
public
public
trust and so on down the line. So exactly how do you plan to go about this, and what kind of charges do you plan to file?
Well, it will be betrayal of public trust because that's very open to interpretation. That could be for anything.
Corruption
Yeah.
and so on down the line.
Or even lying about the state of his drug rehabilitation or his involvement in drugs. That can also be constituted as a betrayal of public trust. So depending on what possible grounds you may find, we will still consult with our legal teams. But his involvement in the flood control anomalies and him being the mastermind in all of this, and also in his drug-related revelations made by Senator Amy Marcos would be the most stable grounds that we would have.
That's your most solid, you think?
Well, there might be more. We might
So
find
for now,
his-
3 grounds.
we might find his footprints in the DPWH building fire. So that's also another possibility.
Alright, yun po, narinig natin po si Congressman Kiko Barzaga or si Congressman Miao Miao po, no? Yeah, for me, I thought I also agree na dapat po may limitations when we talk about ang institution itself, ang congressmen, how they have to behave. Remember during the time of Tatay Digong, no? Wherein Tatay Digong is very vocal when he condemned ang mga malpractices ng mga tao sa gobyerno po. Maraming mga tao noon, they say he's not a statement. And Tatay Digong said, I don't care because I am not, if you say I'm not a statement, the thing that I'm very concerned is I want to change. Dapat may totoong change dito sa bayan natin. And dahil dyan po, no, mga mura-mura ni Tatay Digong po, finally nag-realize it did not took too long for the Filipinos to realize na tama si Tatay Digong. Sabi ni Tatay Digong, I am talking this way so that ang mga kriminal, when we say criminal, hindi lang mga murderers, no? Those who are involved sa corruption, those who are involved in taking advantage of their positions, no? I want to talk to them, communicate with them in the same language. Diyan po. And because of that style of Tatay Digong po, nakita natin, we enjoyed ang ibang senaryo sa Pilipinas. Ibang senaryo sa Pilipinas po. Mas maganda ang buhay natin during the time of Tatay Digong. I don't know whether you will agree or not, but I believe na what Tatay Digong did was right. And nandito na naman, ito si Kiko Barzaga, very young congressman, and hates itong corruption po, and hates people involved sa corruption, that even went to the extent of he is asking even our presidente to, alam na ninyo po, ang presidente, ang speaker, si Saldico, everybody, those are involved. He's very vocal. He's very vocal po. The only thing I can say is that, bakit ang gobyerno, no? Bakit ang congressmen natin, dyan po sa House of Representatives, instead of clearing ang bahay nila, because whether you like it or not, dito sa corruption ng flood control projects and dito po sa national budget natin 2025, and of course mayroon mga may mga questionable items sa 2026 po, no? Instead of focusing clear ang mga issues against the congressmen, some congressmen dyan po sa Kongreso, they prefer to give priority kay Congressman Kiko Barzaga. Maliit na issue lang yun po, si Kiko Barzaga. Ang dami po, 17 or more than 17 congressmen involved sa flood control projects po. Sana dyan po, nag-focus sila. Kasi if you say that si Kiko or si Congressman Kiko is tarnishing the name of the House of Representatives, na mas lalo na po, corruption yan po, malaking pera yan po, taxpayers' money. Mas lalo na, ito mga congressmen involved yan po sa corruption. Kaya nga, people, ang mga Filipinos, they don't trust anymore ang Kongreso. Na bakit? Why you have to give priority sa case? Although it's okay din, okay? Discipline din si but mas importante sana yan po, saan ba mas grabe ang crime? The one who is talking about corruption, no? Or the ones who did corruption? They stole money from the Filipinos po. Saan mas importante po? Saan if you weigh things, saan mas importante? And you say destroying the name, the reputation, the image of the House of Representatives. Na yun mga congressmen who are involved in this flood control projects po, di ba mas grabe yun sila kaysa kay Congressman Kiko Bersaga. Si Kiko Bersaga po, ang penalty niya po suspension for 60 days po. And he was asked to remove lahat ang mga posting niya po sa social media, dyan po sa Facebook, no? He was asked to remove it po. Pero sabi ni Congressman Kiko, I will continue my fight against corruption. I will continue to protect the interest and welfare of every Filipino as a responsible congressman po. As a responsible congressman po. And kung sino man involved, be it mataas na tao dyan po sa Pilipinas, sabi niya, I don't care. I'm going to expose them. Basta mayroon akong ebidensya. Diyan po ang sitwasyon ni Kiko Bersaga. So that's it. That's it po. Let's see. So he will be suspended. Suspended, it means that wala siyang sweldo, no salary, no benefits or whatsoever for 60 days or 3 months po. And if he continue to do, accordingly, mga wrongdoings ni Congressman Kiko Bersaga, then he might, ang committee might expel him. And he said, I'm more than willing for as long as I'm fighting for the Filipinos po. For as long as I'm fighting for the Filipinos. Doon po saludo ako sa kanya po. Because everything we do, Kiko or Congressman Kiko is not a perfect person. No? Is not a perfect person. Mayroon din siya mga mali. See? Tao lang yan. But the way we look at him, or the way how I look at him, this is my own opinion po, na believe din ako, ang guts niya po. Ang guts niya po. And everybody were surprised. They were not expecting. There are a lot of people, they were thinking noon, nobody will go against ang mga congressmen dyan po sa Congress. Nobody will talk as brave as itong si Congressman Kiko Bersaga. Tapi itong mga sabihin natin, mga Gen Z natin leaders, mga young leaders natin po. Kagaya ni Congressman Leviste, Yandro Leviste. Mayaman, he came from a very rich family po. And he was bribed. Bagong congressman yan po. Bagong congressman. And matapang po. He did not accept any bribe. Instead, he exposed it. Kasi sabi niya po, hindi pwede, kawawa ang mga Filipino. So ngayon, if you look at it, ang mga young leaders natin po, elected leaders po, sila na po. It's about time for them. Kasi tayo, mga senior citizens po, whether we like it or not, we have to hand it over sa mga young leaders natin po. And now we see, although kulang pa, but we see po na dahan-dahan ang mga Gen Z or mga young leaders natin po, they are coming out bravely po. Even sa demonstration, nakita ninyo po, September 21, and last Sunday, maraming mga kabataan nag-participate sa rallies. Ongoing rallies po. September 21, mayroon tayo yun. September 21, yun INC. And then last week, or last Sunday po, you see? Ganon po. Kailangan po. Ang mga youth, ang mga youngsters natin po to come out because this will determine your future. Kami, mga elderly people, we are going to back you up po. We are going to back you up. Alright? So, let me share you another one. Another congressman po who voted for no. Also a young congressman and neophyte, a newcomer po. And I'm referring to no other than ito si ang tatay niya po, senador, no, si Marcoleta. And I'm referring to ang anak niya po, si Paulo Henry Marcoleta. Let's watch and listen ang statement po, ang reaction niya po regarding ang desisyon to suspend si Congressman Kiko Barzaga.
Philosophy of tolerance and freedom of expression, this line is often quoted. I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. The independence of the legislature ensures that members may speak fully, frankly, and fearlessly on matters of public interest. Honorable Barsaga's statements directed at alleged corruption within the government falls within the fullest and most urgent category of political expression. To penalize him for raising concerns on corruption, which the Constitution itself mandates Congress to check, is to subvert the very principle of parliamentary privilege. Mr. Speaker, 2004 pa lang po, andito na po ako bilang Chief of Staff po ng aking ama. Nakita ko po ang mga oposisyon na grabe magtuligsa sa administrasyon. Nandyan po ang mga magigiting na miyembro ng Makabayan Bloc na sila sa Tulo Campo, Lisa Masa, Joel Virador na talagang magigiting na mga figura ng oposisyon. Pero hindi naman po sila naharap sa mga ethics case, gaano man sila kaanghang magsilita laban sa administrasyon.
Alright, yun po, si Sagip Party List Congressman, Representative Paulo Henry Marcoleta. A very young, neophyte a congressman, but matapang din po, kagaya sa tatay niya po dyan sa Senado. Okay, another one from Batangas, 1st District. Mayaman ito po, and very brave, and very young. Kontra talaga sa korupsyon. And I'm referring to no other than Congressman Leandro Leviste. Let's watch and listen ang statement niya po dyan po sa Kongreso yesterday. Hold on, ha? Alright, Leviste. 125. Nandito. Let's watch and listen to him.
Distinguished colleagues, ang boto ko ay no, hindi dahil perfecto si Congressman Barzaga, pero dahil questionable para sa akin na minadali natin itong desisyon dahil ngayong hapon lang natin nakuha ang committee report na ito at si Congressman Barzaga lang ang sinampahan ng kaso ng Committee on Ethics. Ang boto ko ay no, lalo na dahil inuuna natin ang kaso niya kaysa sa mga mas seryosong isyong kinakaharap ng isa sa mga kasamahan natin. Isang kapwa kong Batanggenyo na nandito ngayon na bumoto sa kaso ni Congressman Barzaga. Hindi ba nakakahiya maging miyembro ng Kongreso dahil parang naging normal na meron tayong isang kasamahan na inakusahan na nagbayad para sa mahigit 100 billion pesos ng mga kontrata sa DPWH? Para bang tinatanggap natin na normal lang magkaroon ng kasamahan na iniugnay sa pagnanakaw ng bilyong-bilyong piso na hindi iniimbestigahan na ng Committee on Ethics, Public Works o Intracom, samantalang inuunan natin ang kaso ni Congressman Barzaga, habang hindi man lang natin pinaglalaanan ng masusing atensyon ang mas mabigat na aligasyon, lumalabas na parang okay lang magnakaw sa Kongreso.
Alright, yan po, narinig natin po, matapang din, batang-bata, congressman. So, from Batangas, the District 1, si Leandro Leviste. Okay, another congressman, I'm going to share with you ang statement niya po. Another congressman, let's watch and listen to this. 143. Let's watch and listen.
That us lawmakers are held to a higher degree of ethics and decorum, such should not work as to stifle free speech and debate. Lawmakers must be free to say what we want especially on issues involving national importance. Representative Barzaga's actions and words may not fit the usual mold of a traditional lawmaker. But who decides if the mold or what mold is correct? I understand these are difficult questions to answer, and I am unsure if there is any. But one thing I am sure of is that plundering the coffers of government through ghost infrastructure projects is what's unethical. The committee resolution sets a dangerous precedent. Ganito ho ba tayo kabalat sibuyas at allergic sa mga naiibang pananaw? Should our subjective judgments of Representative Barzaga's ethics supplant the will of the electorate? Hayaan natin ang mamamayan ng Dasmariñas ang humatol sa mga ginagawa ni Representative Barzaga kung saba ay karapat dapat na maging kinatawan nila. My dear colleagues, let us not erode whatever little trust that the public has left for this House. At a time where allegations of massive corruption has been plaguing our beloved institution, it is callousness to sanction one of its most vocal critics, however eccentric, uncouth, or unpalatable his mode of delivery may be.
Yan po, narinig natin another congressman na party list po. And I'll give you another one. Party list congressman po, ang statement niya when it comes to itong issue po. Let's watch and listen to this. Hold on,
While I acknowledge the profound importance of maintaining and enforcing the ethical standards of this House, my vote of no reflects two deeply held convictions. First, although the respondent's conduct was inappropriate, crass, and unbecoming of a member of Congress, I respectfully submit that the proposed 60-day suspension is grossly disproportionate to the offenses alleged. If he has indeed acted beneath the dignity of his office, then by all means, reprimand him, hold him to account. But discipline must always be commensurate to the transgression, and in this case, I believe this august chamber is responding with excessive severity. A reprimand being the initial and least severe action should have been the proper first recourse, especially where the conduct, while objectionable, does not involve corruption, criminality, abuse of authority, or behavior so grave as to render a member unfit for office.
Yun po, narinig ninyo. I totally agree. Okay, if you think, parang sa klase natin po, no? Sa classroom, sa eskwelahan. If we do, even sa bahay po, if we see, ang parents natin will see that we are doing something wrong or hindi tama po, first thing ang mga parents natin po, ang tatay natin or ang nanay natin, it's a very normal for them to say, anak, warning ha, stop doing this thing. I'll give you a warning. If that anak will continue to do that thing na ang parents natin o ang tatay, ang nanay natin sees na hindi dapat, no? Then mayroon ng punishment. Suspension, kung sa Congress yun, okay, you can suspend him for 30 days, 60 days, o kung sa bahay yun, maybe grounded ang bata. No? And then after that, kung he still commit the same mistake or continue to do the same thing, then maybe itong anak will face ang consequences. Anong consequences? Siguro ang tatay magpalo sa kanya. No? Or any other punishment na hindi lang suspension or grounded. Kagaya din sa Senado ba o dyan po sa Kongreso. Warning, suspension, and maybe you will be expelled. Kung matigas talaga ang ulo. But the only thing is that ang crime, ang mistake ng Congressman Kiko Barzaga is not that serious. It is not, it doesn't involve money. It doesn't involve, sabihin natin, nagnakaw siya ng pera or whatever po. Compared to their other colleagues. Congressman dyan po sa House of Representatives, mention na talaga ang pangalan nila sa ongoing investigation. But, alam mangyari, wala nangyari sa kanila po. No? Sana, ang House Speaker, they have to look, ang majority members ng block ng House of Representatives, sana they have to look into na ang gravity of the kasalanan po. And saan magbigay ng priority. Dahil ba si Congressman Kiko Barzaga is an opposition? Stop him from talking? Samantala itong mga nasa grupo nila po, grabe pa ang kasalanan nila, corruption talaga po, it involves not only few thousands, or 1 million, it involves billions and trillions po. But, walang problema sila. What is happening sa gobyerno natin? What is happening sa gobyerno natin? This I cannot understand. This I cannot understand. Dahil, because of this thing po, kaya nga sabi ko, mahirap na. Mahirap na. Okay, meron pa ako dito isa.
Ito ang pundasyon ng lahat ng demokratikong lipunan. Its shield is broad and its protection is deep. It extends even to speech that is sharp, incendiary, or inflammatory. Constitutional protection is not limited to speech that is polite, convenient, or comfortable. This freedom is not ornamental. It is the lifeblood of a democratic discourse. The very air that allows truth to move, compete, and ultimately prevail in the marketplace of ideas. In every Congress, in every era, disagreements, mabigat man o masakit, ay mangyayari. But our duty is not to silence discomfort. Our duty is to allow debate, to permit critique, and to safeguard the right of each member to speak without fear that dissent itself becomes punishable. Totoo, the circumstances and expressions involved fall short of the quorum expected in this House. Hindi natin kinukonsinti ang pamamaraan o pagkasabi. Hindi natin tinatanggal ang bigat ng responsibilidad sa pagpili ng salita.
Correct. I totally agree. No? May freedom of the press tayo. Ang mali ni Congressman Coco Barzaga, we don't say okay yun po. Yes, he has to face ang consequences po. But not to the extent, no? Not to the extent of immediately suspending him. No? I do not condone yung mali niya po. I don't say okay lang ang mali niya po. No. He has to change also the way he express ang feelings niya po, na? Ang mga observations niya po, the way he talk. May mali siya. He has to change. Somebody must discipline him also po. But to the extent of, sabihin natin, suspending him, parang you are, ang rights of freedom of the press, freedom of expression ng tao po. And parehas lang kayo lahat dyan po, Congressman, elected by your own people, by your constituents. Sana konting respeto. Kaya nga, galit ang mga tao. Nakita natin may bias, may favoritism, and worst thing po, kalokohan na. Because, why kalokohan? I'm sorry to say that word. No? Because, we can weigh things ba po kung saan ang give priority or less priority, kung saan mas mabigat ang kasalanan or less kasalanan po. But lahat yung kasalanan, ha? Lahat yung kasalanan. I don't say it's not kasalanan po. Lahat yung kasalanan po. Pero you have to do proper prioritizing. Kung saan you have to give first attention, second attention, third attention po. Ganon po. That's how I look at it. This is my own personal opinion. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Yun po ang issue ni Congressman Kiko Barzaga. And let's see po what will happen. Let's see what will happen po. Although he already said he's willing to, is more than willing to accept ang verdict po. And he assured that he will continue po for the sake of our country, for the sake of every Filipinos who are now suffering po. No? Because of itong system of government natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. He's shouting, they are shouting, those who answered no, they are shouting for transparency, accountability, and justice. The same thing, ang mga tao po, ordinaryong Filipino po, we are shouting transparency, accountability, and justice. Ikulong ang mga magnanakaw. We will try to recover back ang whatever they stole from us. And hindi lang yan po, we want a genuine change sa sistema natin ng gobyerno. So before I will conclude itong programa natin for December 2nd, na Tuesday ngayon po, I also want to touch a little bit on, mayroon na mga complaint po, hindi lang sa Kongreso ngayon. Now let's touch a little bit dito po sa Senado. Now mayroon na narinig natin mga statements coming from the Senate President regarding itong absent ni Senator Bato de la Rosa. After the recess, hanggang ngayon po, no appearance sa Senado si Senator Bato de la Rosa. Bato de la Rosa po. No? So some people are saying, ano ba ito? Okay lang ba yun po kung absent siya? Remember, ang taong bayan is the one who's paying their salary. And remember how much one senator is receiving a month. Hindi maliit po. I think, if I'm not mistaken, kung grade G31 siya po, something like 293,000 monthly po, no? And wala pa yun po. We don't talk about ang mga perks niya po. Other things pa, no? So, sweldo lang po is 293,000 a month. And absent siya, no? Ilang days na, ilang sessions na po, absent siya po. But the problem is, there is no such thing as he has to or the Senate President cannot give him a letter or letter to explain bakit siya absent, no? Kasi ang mga senator, sila na po ang boss, no? Wala nang mas mataas sa kanila. So if they are absent or they are late, they are not obliged to explain or give a reason to the Senate President po. But for how long they will be absent, sana lang po. Sabi ni Senate President, kung may complaint, then maybe this can be brought sa ethics committee ng Senado, and from there they will make a decision. And it is very unlikely any one of the sabihin natin na senator will do the complaint. Kasi 24 lang sila eh. But if there is outside the Senate, ang mga publiko po will make a complaint, and bring the matter to the Ethic Committee of the Senate, then pwede yan po. Anybody can do that. No, anybody can do that. Bakit kaya si Senator Bato de la Rosa hanggang ngayon don't attend ang mga sessions nila po? So, obviously, nakita natin po, I think one of the reasons is because itong istorya, na warrant of arrest coming from the ICC. No? Speculations lang ito lahat. Speculations lang ito lahat. Because we don't even see na mayroon warrant of arrest talaga. But in the event, nandoon siya po sa Senado, sa session, no, may session, hindi pwede mag-aresto kay Senator Bato de la Rosa. But the moment he leaves the compound, then pwede na po. So hanggang ngayon, hindi natin alam kung nasaan si Senator Bato de la Rosa, and I'm watching itong mga media outlets natin almost every day or every day. I'm monitoring, and apparently even mga local media natin sa Pilipinas, they cannot get si Senator Bato de la Rosa for comments regarding ang absence niya po. But again, I will continue to monitor po, and whatever news mayroon tayo po, I'll make sure na kayo, mga followers ko po, you will be able to, or you will be informed. And lastly, medyo konting masaya tayo ngayon po because kanina I was watching na mayroon na tayong live streaming ang ICI hearing. So kanina nakita ko po ang Laguna District Congressman si Benjamin Mayon, Benjamin Arago, no? He was there being questioned by the ICI, Independent Commission on Infrastructure, regarding itong flood control projects. After him, nakita natin ang mga opisyales ng land bank, no? Land bank po. They came in as resource person and they were asked a lot of questions po. Bakit itong one of the questions po kung paano yung po procedures po ang bangko, they can withdraw ang ang sabihin natin ang mga contractors ba or Department of Public Works and Highways, no? They can withdraw big or huge amount of money po by the millions po, 50 million in one day po. And nag-explain po ang officials ng land bank po kung paano ang procedures. But anyway, let's see ang official statement ng ICI. Maybe anytime soon they will be giving a statement regarding ang outcome ng sabihin natin investigation. And we were also made to understand this week, maybe tomorrow, I don't know kung mamaya or bukas, we are going to see ang presence of representative and majority leader sa House of Representatives, si Representative Sandro Marcos. And at the same time, they announced also ang ICC na invited din po ang congressman ng Davao, si Congressman Polong Duterte. Alright? So yan po. Yeah, si Felicen, Carlito Feliceno, si Kangkang is watching. Thank you very much for watching. And ingat, classmate, no? I don't know if you're going for our reunion this weekend. Pero sa akin, dito lang muna tayo sa Sabah, sa Kota Kinabalu. Medyo busy tayo dito, no? So, miss lang tayo this year sa homecoming ng Ateneo de Zamboanga. Ateneo de Zamboanga homecoming that will be on Friday, my torch parade, no? And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday po, 3 days yun po, celebration ng mga estudyante, no? Ng Ateneo po, different classes, no? Will be celebrating ang homecoming. Oh, si Felicen is also going So enjoy na lang kayo, Kang, no? May t-shirt na kayo dyan. May t-shirt na kayo dyan. So kami dito, si Ruben Castillo, Art Enriquez, Joey La Vitoria, we are not attending. Siguro next year or sa 2027. To all the Athenians, Blue Eagles po, I would like to extend advance happy homecoming dyan po sa Zamboanga. So with this, I would like to say once again, thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. And Godspeed. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye, and I love you.